David Makela, his speech is titled, I Have a Dream. The time has finally arrived. The intentional mentoring plane is ready to lift off. And you are fortunate for you to be a part of this historical flight. Buckle your seatbelts and prepare for the flight that could change your life. Please welcome David Makela.
It was August 28th, 1963, the day that changed the course of history. Martin Luther King stood in front of 250,000 people and gave the speech of his life. It was on that day that taught people how to take responsibility and action behind a vision. And tonight, as you sit here in our club of transformation, this is a historical night for Toastmasters, not only here in Laguna Beach, but Toastmasters worldwide. Why is that? Well, we've been talking about a mentoring program for a long time. And I've had a dream that has been reignited, given the opportunity 1 month ago. And I have a dream for each and every one of our members to have an opportunity to grow as an effective communicator, to be able to take the communication skills back home to your children, to your grandchildren, to your co-workers, Bob and Larry, Bill and Larry. And I have a dream for our students up the hill at Laguna Beach High School to have an opportunity, as JP and Chad had, to come into our incubator of transformation and be transformed. I have a dream that each and every person sitting in this room tonight will have a mentor, someone who is walking with them for the next 90 days with specific goals that are going to set them on a path to achieve your personal, professional goals with your mentor. There's a story of Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo, he is a special ops pilot. A few years back, he was working a mission in Afghanistan. And Johnny's role in flying his plane is to be a covering over the troops on the ground. And he was in radio contact with the troops on the ground to be the eyes above to help the troops on the ground to avoid the enemy fire. It was on this cloudy day that Johnny lost sight of everything because of a cloud cover. And his mission, he thought, was stalled because he was connected to the troops on the ground. He had radio connection, but it was in that moment when he heard the dreaded call from the troops on the ground that you don't want to hear. Troops in contact. What that means is we're under fire. Johnny Bravo decided to act upon the intuition, not just the training, because he had all the training. He had the instruments in the plane to be able to combat the enemy on the ground. But what Johnny thought to himself was, do I risk my life flying blind into the clouds and covering the troops on the ground and taking fire from the enemy and to free the troops on the ground? He thought to himself, what would they do if they were me? It was in that moment he knew what he had to do. He flew down in, under the clouds. He couldn't see a thing. He fired upon the enemies, and the troops were set free. At the end of this campaign, he came back, hugged the troops on the ground, and they all celebrated what they knew to be true. It's not the training, It's not the equipment, the machinery, the planes. It's the ability to know that they had each other's back. That's what mentoring is. That's what I call special ops intentional mentoring. In mentoring, we have each other's backs. We're the covering for the mentees because life can be a battle sometimes. There's a battle with time. We're all busy, running, chasing after dreams, desires, kids sometimes, Kevin. And the demands are intense. All the more reason to have the covering of a mentor that can help you see the things that you're unable to see. Over the next 90 days, finally, we are launching the Intentional Mentoring Program. What does that mean? A lot of you are asking, because many of you have said, well, I put my name somewhere that I was going to have a mentor, but nothing's happened. As you know, I've been making a lot of calls over the last month, so thank you for your time, all of you, and sharing your hopes, desires, and dreams. Next week, we are having the first introduction meeting that's going to kick off a 90-day mentoring program. It's going to be a beta test, and we are going to have all eyes on our club to be able to be the incubator, the beta test to see what's working and what's not working. So I'm inviting you, if you feel you have what it takes to be on my committee, it's called the High Performance Leadership Committee team, that wants to share what you're learning and add to the program to make it better and stronger. And I have a sign-up sheet here that I'm asking each and every one of you. My hope is that you'll want to be part of it, that at the very least be part of the mentoring program, but then also be part of the leadership team. And then for the next 90 days, we're going to start tracking our goals, we're going to measure them, we're going to look at the results, and we're going to evaluate and then roll out second phase and then third phase. And the dream is that we will be recognized as the club for the first time in Toastmasters history that implemented an intentional mentoring program that proved successful with tangible, measurable results. So I invite you now to consider joining me and becoming a Johnny Bravo.